Hey, we're going to look at today the different ways that a function may or may not have a derivative. And there's four special categories that we can look at. And anytime you're on a graph, you'll be able to see these four things. You'll know right away there's not a derivative at that specific place. So let's just dive right on and look at them. I've got four graphs here. One shows a corner. And so if we just check this guy out, we've got what looks like let me get rid of that. What looks like a uh, absolute value graph comes in, bounces off. So at this point 0 right here, we've got a corner. And anytime you have a corner, you don't have a derivative. So we cannot take a derivative at that particular point. Where else may we not? Well, on this graph right over here, which could be like a little bouncer action. So it looks like this. It's got a cusp. Again, it's a little corner point, but when it kind of folds in and bounces, and it looks like almost kind of like a fold of paper or something like that, or like the square root graph of a square root with a mirror image over the y-axis. This would be called a cusp, and we can't take a derivative there either. So what about a vertical tangent? Well, we come across vertical tangents every now and again, and a vertical tangent would look like this guy, where you're cruising along and everything's great, but then right here at 0 we go straight up and down. So right here we're straight up and down, and where we're straight up and down, that's a vertical tangent, which means that the change in x is 0, which is in a denominator, and you can't divide by a denominator. So remember, when you're taking a derivative, you're looking at a slope, and we cannot have a vertical tangent. Can't do it. Lastly, it's a discontinuity, and so this would look something like, maybe absolute value x over x or something like that. But notice again, at the point 0, 0, there's just no way for us to take a derivative at this point because we're approaching two different numbers. Remember, to have a derivative, you've got to approach the same exact y value. And we don't do that when we have a discontinuity of this type. And this is, more specifically, this isn't just a discontinuity, it's a jump discontinuity. So, so that's one of the discontinuities. That is one of the big discontinuities that we can't have a derivative at. But these are just a few examples of where you cannot have a derivative, and there's really not tons and tons of different things to memorize. We're just looking for a corner, a cusp, a vertical tangent, or a jump discontinuity.